Next on ABC7's Good Morning El Paso Weekend, a mountain rescue after the sun goes down leads to an hours-long search in the dark near northeast El Paso. Major plans for a final tribute to the fallen Hatch police officer today. What you need to know about what will be going on. And amid major budget woes for the county hospital, there could be a new player stepping into the situation. Storm track weather, Stephen.
Unsettled weather here in the borderland. Morning showers are falling apart, but more expected this afternoon.
This is all the news you need to start your Sunday, August 21st. ABC7's Good Morning El Paso Weekend starts right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso Weekend.
Well, good morning, El Paso, and thank you for joining us. I'm Andrew J. Polk. Getting straight to your storm track weather now because we've got a lot of wet weather coming for your weekend. Let's get your first forecast for storm track meteorologist Stephen Decatur. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Andrew. We were tracking those showers this morning. They are falling apart, though. Las Cruces did see over a half inch of rain, though, with those morning showers. You can see what's left of it is moving towards Alamogordo, down US 70 towards White Sands as well. That'll continue to fall apart. There are some more showers and thunderstorms back towards Del City as well near the Guadalupe Mountains. Some of that is having some lightning strikes with it, but overall it is fairly quiet this morning. But with some daytime heating, you can expect some more thunderstorms this afternoon. 20% chance by noon and then 40% chance by the end of the day. It does look to be more widespread than what we saw yesterday afternoon. Temperatures similar to yesterday, around 87 degrees. So we are expecting things to stay fairly cool thanks to some partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. So what we have for you today, we're going to be watching the radar throughout the day and some very cool temperatures. Only 72 currently in El Paso, 65 in Las Cruces. And again, that cool weather is going to stick around. Andrew?
All right, thanks, Stephen. Check back in just a bit. Meantime, though, if you're planning on driving in West El Paso today, listen up. I-10 West is closed at the Sunland Park exit all day. Traffic will be forced to exit, then re-enter at I-10 on the Sunland Park on-ramp. The good news is you won't have to go through a traffic light. But during that same closure, the two left lanes going east on I-10 are closed at Sunland as well. Both closures began earlier this morning at 3 a.m. and will go on until 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. And taking a live look at your driving conditions right now using the ABC7 traffic track systems. Looking pretty good out there for the moment. Got a little bit of a stoppage there on the west side and actually into Sunland Park, but otherwise those are just slowdowns, not actual stoppages. I-10 seeming to be moving along pretty well for the moment. Again, we'll be checking on this throughout the day and have the latest also on KVIA.com. And a bicyclist is safe this morning after being rescued from a bike trail close to midnight. Happened around 10 last night. It all started rather at 10 last night at Chuck Heinrich Park on the 11,000 block of Officer Andrew Barcena Drive. That's in northeast El Paso. An El Paso Fire Department spokesman says a friend of the bicyclist called 911 around 10. When crews arrived, they could not see a light the woman was flashing from the mountain to try and direct her towards them. But so a combined search and rescue team was called to the scene. Crews were able to find the 28-year-old woman around 11:30. The woman and crews were then able to get off the mountain shortly after midnight. We're told there were no injuries. And happening today, friends and family of the fallen Hatch police officer will pay their final respects at a memorial this afternoon. Officer Jose Chavez was shot and killed last Friday during a traffic stop in Hatch, New Mexico. A final tribute will include a motorcade escort from Hatch to his hometown of Las Cruces, followed by a memorial service at the Pan Am Center at New Mexico State University. ABC7's Jerry Nahara has more.
A week has passed since Officer Chavez was killed in the line of duty. Today, several law enforcement agencies and honor guards will be on hand for the ceremonies.
We lost a good human being. We needed his character and the person that he was here on earth.
He was a well-liked guy.
It really hits close to home.
Many expressed heartache after Officer Jose Chavez was killed during a traffic stop in Hatch last Friday. Chavez's body was escorted 221 miles from Albuquerque, where he was taken for an autopsy, to his hometown in Las Cruces. Businesses in the area accepted donations to support the fallen officer's family, and earlier this week the honor flag arrived in El Paso from Dallas. This is the same flag that flew above Ground Zero in honor of the police officers and firefighters killed in the September 11th attacks. On a state level, Governor Susana Martinez expressed her support.
I ask all New Mexicans to keep his family, especially his two precious little girls, in their thoughts and in their prayers. We owe it to Officer Chavez as a community to rally around and to support his family.
Law enforcement will be gathering at Hatch Valley High School beginning at 12:30. A spokesperson for the Doña Ana County Sheriff's Office says at this point only law enforcement is suggested because the roads in the area are not really suited for heavy traffic. The motorcade will take Officer Chavez through the village of Hatch, then head down I-25 to Las Cruces between 1:30 and 2:30. The motorcade will continue to New Mexico State University's Pan Am Center. 100 motorcyclists with the Patriot Guard riders will be roadside, along with honor guards who will fire ceremonial shots as the hearse passes by. There will be a rolling roadblock on I-25 heading east during the escort from Hatch to Las Cruces. Doors at the Pan Am will open at 1 p.m. A strict no-bag policy will be in effect. Congressman Steve Pierce and Governor Susana Martinez are expected to attend. I'm Jerry Nakira with ABC7.
And if you're not able to make it out to the Pan Am Center this afternoon, you'll still be able to watch Officer Chavez's funeral. We'll be streaming it live at KVIA.com beginning at 3 o'clock. For details on the funeral and the procession from Hatch, you can visit the homepage of KVIA.com right now. All the information is in our top stories section. And the man who is accused of killing Officer Chavez will be back in court this week. Friday, he was formally charged in both state and federal court. 38-year-old Jesse Haynes faces a slew of charges. Cameras weren't allowed in either of the courtrooms, but our New Mexico mobile newsroom was there to get all the details. The state charges Haynes faces are willful and deliberate first-degree murder. That carries a life sentence without the possibility of parole. He's also facing several drug charges. The federal charges include carjacking, resulting in serious bodily injury, discharging a firearm during a crime of violence, and being a felon in possession of a firearm. Those could add an additional 45 years to his sentence and $500,000 in fines if convicted. Haynes is scheduled to be back in federal court now on Wednesday. To some breaking news overnight, the death toll in a wedding explosion in Turkey has now risen to 50. The wedding celebration carried into the streets yesterday afternoon, then that's when the explosion went off. Turkey's president says the explosion was carried out by a suicide bomber between 12 and 14 years old. At least 94 people were injured. As of now, no group has claimed responsibility for the attack, but the president of Turkey has blamed the Islamic State group for the attack. University Medical Center is facing a challenging budget in the year ahead and could get more complicated in the future as new groups are now looking to get involved.
How do we go ahead and work on increasing our operational revenues so that we're less reliant on those kinds of adjustments? And how do we look at our expenses to make sure that we manage our expenses tighter, better?
University Medical Center's new CEO, Jacob Cintron, is stepping into a position with a lot of problems to juggle, all while trying to keep the hospital out of the red. The county hospital district is asking for a tax increase of about 5% for the next fiscal year, but even then there will be $629 million in expenses and only $611 million in revenue, caused mostly by decreasing government funding. That's a shortfall of $18 million that will eat into UMC's cash reserves, leaving them with only 33 days of cash on hand. That's complicated by the new relationship with El Paso Children's Hospital, still working on getting into full debt repayment there, and now a new player could affect future considerations as well.
The main purpose of us coming over here was that, we wanted to share with not only the UMC board and our new leader, Jacob Cintron, but also Commissioner's Court, about some of our concerns.
Trinidad Acevedo and other UMC associates have been working to organize under the Service Employees International Union of Texas and are looking to become recognized and have their concerns about salaries heard, something Cintron is open to.
Recognizing how do we compete at the market so that our great employees don't feel that we're not really paying them an adequate rate, and then we run the risk of losing them to competitors.
We just want to be recognized as a voice and, be an important stakeholder that we are.
The next county budget meeting is scheduled for Tuesday. El Paso Crime Stoppers are asking for your help identifying a woman using a stolen credit card at a Goodwill store. Take a look. Police say this woman took a man's wallet after he left it on a counter at a Walmart located on Red Road in West El Paso. This happened back on July 6th. Police say later that same day the woman used the credit card at a Goodwill store located on Donovan, then again at a gas station at Belvedere in Westwind. According to police, she spent more than $100. The woman is described as a heavy-set Hispanic woman, and anyone with information is asked to call that number at the top of your screen, 566-8477. That's 566-TIPS. When diagnosed with cancer, it could be the biggest battle of your life, and one local group wants to help patients through the fight and help survivors thrive in a long and happy life. Over 200 cancer survivors filled a room at the Wyndham Hotel yesterday for the 7th Annual Cancer Survivor Conference. It's hosted by the Rio Grande Cancer Foundation. The conference focuses on healing after a cancer diagnosis. The foundation works to reduce the effects of cancer some El Pasoans may go through by offering support services. The conference is a full day of classes aimed at getting survivors the chance to heal.
The cancer diagnosis and thriving beyond a cancer diagnosis is largely a lifestyle change. So today we're talking about things like breast reconstruction. We're talking about meals, nutrition. We have speakers here that are talking to us about coping strategies, about exercise and Tai Chi, yoga, things that you can do to help you heal and get through and thrive beyond the experience.
If you'd like to learn more about the Rio Grande Foundation, you can stop at their new offices located at 616 North Virginia. And don't call this business a call center. Alorica is the fastest growing customer service operation in the nation and the second largest in El Paso. That's according to our news partners at the El Paso Inc. The company is one of the city's top 15 employers and has more than 2,000 workers. The El Paso centers are located at Belvedere and Westwind on the west side and on the east side at the 1400 block of Goodyear, where the company is expanding even more throughout El Paso. To read more on the fastest growing customer service center in the U.S., pick up your copy of the El Paso Inc. Other stories this week include meeting the El Pasoan who's leading a D.C. group that's right in the middle of the big national debate about guns, and what do more than a dozen local teams hope to put into and get out of the race to use NASA technology. El Paso Inc. is online at KVIA.com and available for home and business delivery. Call that number there at the bottom of your screen, 534-4422 to subscribe. And while it's not exactly the Kentucky Derby coming up on Good Morning El Paso weekend, it's still an exhilarating and adorable race to the finish. And later, new alerts about the Zika virus in a city known as a tourist draw. Time right now just before 8:12, taking a live look at the traffic out there this morning using our ABC7 traffic track system. Still showing a little bit of a backup on Mesa. And that's probably due to those closures we've got at I-10 westbound at Sunland Park. Closed down all day until 5 a.m., but it is a quick off and on. We're keeping an eye out of this for the rest of your day. And Storm Track weather, Stephen.
Cooler temperatures for the next 7 days here in the borderland. I'll have those details coming up.
You're watching ABC7, where news comes first.